Welcome back. It's time for another episode of Keeping It Real. Keeping It Real Estate with the real deal. The women who really know the real answers. Starting with our real expert, Rosanne Nitti. Hey, Rosanne.
Hi, Paul. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. And can we announce the big news here? I don't know, am I letting the cat out of the bag here? But you're now on iHeartRadio. You and Justin Timberlake can both be found on iHeartRadio.
Yes, although I'm an R and he's a J, but maybe Keeping It Real would be closer to the JT.
Well, next time I know you like him. I know you go see him at concerts and fly around the country and all this stuff. I just think you should go backstage and tell him that you're both on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, we're excited to be on iHeartRadio and YouTube and Podbean, so you can catch us on that. It takes about a week after the show airs to show up, but you can always find us there.
Okay. Well, did you bring along another real expert today?
I did. I brought a beautiful friend of mine, Audra Wrightson. Hi, Audra.
Hi. Great to be here.
Yeah, welcome. Audra is the owner of Audra Interiors. She is a designer. And we're going to talk first. When we were emailing back and forth about topics, I noticed some letters next to her name, and I thought, well, what do those letters mean next to your name?
They just put them in there. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
they just stick them in there.
They're special. They mean something. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then tell us a little bit about what those letters mean.
Oh, well, thank you, Rosanne. I'm so excited to be here today. I just adore you.
I'm happy you're here.
I'm excited for you and your show. But thank you. So the letters after my name do represent certifications and also organizations that I'm a part of. The first one is CID, and that's Certified Interior Designer. And in order to obtain that, you do need at least 8 to 10 experiences in the field of interior design, and therefore understand the construction elements as well as all of the codes that are involved, as we know in California.
Kind of like being a real estate broker.
That's right.
We have to do transactions and know what the heck we're doing.
Very important. These are important things in order to know how to lay a space out, what materials to choose, and things as plumbing fixtures, as we know, the low flow in California. Things like that are super important. I'm also a member of NKBA, which is National Kitchen and Bath Association.
Wow, we love kitchens and bathrooms.
Yes, that's my favorite, kitchens and bathrooms. And it helps me to understand and keep in the know as far as the new showrooms that pop up and the new materials and products, and also blessed to be able to be invited to go on trips and to learn. I just got back from Chicago and learned all about Viking and La Cornue.
Nice.
Beautiful lines. So, just being on top of all of that is important. And
absolutely. People want to know, and you're the expert. So,
can I just ask one little question? Because I went through this myself, my wife and I.
Absolutely.
First thing she said is, if we want to update our house and make it more sellable, we got to change the kitchen and the bathrooms.
Well, there we go.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm in my 60s. My parents had nice homes growing up. They never cared about the kitchen or the bathroom. It was the living room. It was some other room, the dining room. Is that true? Those are the two rooms that everybody goes to now, and that's the easiest way to add value, you guys?
Yes, absolutely. And as we know, the kitchen is the heart of the home. And I think more today, people are more foodies, shall we say, and they want to, they want to create this experience in their home and have these beautiful appliances that do all these fun things now, and all the bells and whistles that they have
and
is
have
incredible,
their friends over
right?
to share these experiences,
and have Alexa, tell them when to turn on the oven and all that fun stuff. So the kitchen is probably the most requested, but also shortly behind that is master bathroom, because that's right. We all want that spa experience.
Right.
Yeah. So these are things that enhance our lifestyle. In our everyday.
I got to throw in one more. We did a show a couple years ago on really, really super high-end homes. Crystal Cove kind of multi-million-dollar homes, and the trend there, at least according to this excerpt, was 2 kitchens. The show kitchen with the fancy Vikings or whatever, I don't even know the brand names of the super stuff you got to have. And then the dirty kitchen in the back where they really did the kitchen. Is that true, or did you make that up?
It's really big. It's either that, just like I did the holiday house for the Philharmonic this year, that was in Huntington Beach, and they have the butler's dirty kitchen in the back, and then the pretty big grand kitchen in the front, that they entertained so that no one saw all the dishes and all that good stuff. So it's very big, it's very popular. And also people are having their own personal chefs.
Yes.
as well today
Yes.
too, which is
Rosanne
which
has
is
her own
popular.
personal chef, but she
Yeah,
so
that
far
would be my 10 fingers. And sometimes Hurley and Dusty, the cats, come into the kitchen. Every time I'm in the kitchen, they want to be
Of
in the
course,
kitchen.
that's like my little Gracie. Yep, they want to be right there.
So I got off track just a little bit, but I wanted you to tell me just a little bit about yourself. Did you grow up here in Orange County? Are you from Southern California?
I am a Southern California girl, born and raised
Awesome.
in San Diego.
Me too.
Yeah. And I my first love was I went to fashion merchandising school right out of high school, and I did visual merchandising for about 10 years, and kind of traveled around a little bit and came back, and I was missing the creative side. So after working for the Tony Robbins directly, I went back into my passion, which was design. Went to interior design school at Design Institute of San Diego, and
Fun.
I was working for a couple model home firms, which taught me everything under the sun about design, all the way down to
Brings you outside the box a little bit.
yeah, everything.
right?
I learned everything from materials, all the surfaces, down to furnishings and project management. So I had
That's
the full
huge.
gamut.
Yeah.
So
Project
my
management.
sister, lives here in Tustin, and I was coming up here all the time because I was doing all the model homes up in Yorba Linda, and I figured, wow, there's more stuff going on in Orange County. So moved up here and started my business, and a few years later, was fortunate enough to help design the showroom Perch in Costa Mesa.
Oh, beautiful
And
showroom.
that,
Yeah.
thank you. And that kind of catapulted my business on the residential side. So, super grateful.
So you're keeping busy.
Yes.
You're keeping busy. So when we get into this, when you emailed me yesterday, you mentioned HGTV.
Yes.
And you mentioned that it's great for ideas, but not what really happens on a remodeling project. So let's talk a little bit about that and the importance of actually, it doesn't happen in an hour.
No.
And the importance of actually hiring an expert such as yourself to guide you through the process. Like when you're going to buy or sell a house, you hire me to guide you through the process to make it smooth.
Right, absolutely, so important. Because like I said before, it's our home. It's where we live. It's where we come home to after a hard day. And having things laid out properly and designed accordingly. Even maintenance-wise, picking materials that are maintenance friendly in order to clean a lot faster and that sort of thing. It's a lifestyle.
When the people on HGTV are meeting their clients for the first time, they're all excited and they have all these different ideas. How does the consultation work? When we sit down and look at the space together, I kind of give, sometimes I have an idea of what I might want or the client would, and sometimes they don't. And how does that process work with you? How do you start?
So how it works is I'll meet with the clients and we'll walk the spaces that they think they need help with, and so then I come back and I create what's called a custom proposal, and that includes everything such as like a kitchen remodel, all the tasks that go into that, all the selections of the plumbing, the lighting, the materials, that sort of thing. Then I come back, we review the proposal.
So at that point of consultation, are we talking about color choices or you showing samples out? You're just mostly
it's mostly
that
getting
comes
to
a little
know
later.
how they live,
Okay.
how they want to function, in those spaces, and kind of what they're like. So a lot of my clients have gone on House, Pinterest, that sort of thing. They already have an
Right.
idea of what they like.
looked
They
at
just don't know
model
how to
homes.
put it together. So there's a process that goes along with that. And no, it doesn't take an hour. I wish it did.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more to that, and there's actually a budget.
Yes,
that we
and
work
budget
within.
is
So, yes.
important. So that would be to be able to, with anyone, when
Right.
you're going to buy and sell a home.
Right.
I would love to own the home on the sand, and so would have my clients, but they can't always fit that into their budget.
Right. And some clients just need to know, I don't know what that looks like. So I break it down for them and I present, the design presentation. There may be a high or a low, option, so they understand. And 9 times out of 10, they do pick the higher because they just
Or
fall
there's
in love
certain
with it.
we can do this, we can do
Right,
this,
and
this,
massage
and,
and
that.
mix and that sort of thing. But then they understand a little bit better about the process and the overall fees
I know
that's
when I
involved.
remodeled my house in Virginia Beach, when we bought it, the backsplash cost more than the entire house, hardwood floors, and it was like a 4,500 square foot house. So it was one of those, I had to have that backsplash.
But didn't it make
thing.
you happy?
It made me very happy. So there you have it. Right?
Yeah. So it's just taking the time, and I have resources all over Orange County that I use in showrooms and relationships that I've developed in order to bring that together, just like going to appliance and plumbing showroom. Those are relationships that I've developed over many, many years. So they're going to extend that to my clients directly.
And so you're always looking at the new materials and the latest and greatest. And do you go by some of the Pantone colors or what's coming out this season versus the beiges and the grays? Or is it more the clients'
It's
needs?
all about my clients.
That's awesome.
And it's also enhancing what they already have, because we don't want to recreate the wheel unless they're building a brand new house, or they're remodeling from the start.
Gotcha.
So it's all about my clients, and being that I have my model home background, I can create pretty much any style and
fabulous.
feel. Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a minute. Thanks, Audra.
Thank you.
Imagine what it would feel like to lose everything: your job, your home, your family, your dignity. This has happened to thousands of the men, women, veterans, and young adults we serve at Working Wardrobes. What do we do to help? We provide career development services, life skills workshops, job skills training. We provide the perfect interview outfit, and we get clients placed in jobs. Call Working Wardrobes, 714-210-2460. Donate, volunteer, invest, hire.
Let's face it, not all company challenges are the same, which is why Strategic Market Intelligence can help identify the actionable information you need to be more competitive. Gain a better understanding of your brand, competition, best prospects, or new product opportunities to generate greater revenues in 2015. Call 949-357-9547 or visit www.strategicmarketintelligence.com.
And we're back.
Hey,
we're talking
back.
Virginia Beach, and we're talking all sorts of stuff here in the off thing here.
All these important
How many places
things,
have you lived? Every time you come in here, there's a new place you've lived here, Roseanne.
Well, I grew up in Southern California here, and then I moved to Hawaii in the mid-'80s.
That's pretty cool.
I was there for 15 years, Maui and Oahu, which my heart still lies in Maui. And then I moved to Florida for a couple of years. I have my real estate license in Hawaii, Florida, and then up in Virginia Beach for about 6 years I lived. And I came back to California about 11 years ago to be closer to family.
Yeah.
In fact, I just helped my parents move this past weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And they're, my dad's 82, so that was, talk about stuff.
Yeah.
You need,
Right.
I think, segue into a designer to help you organize.
Right. And take what you have
and keep your things in order and stuff. Do you, when you do bathrooms and kitchens, are you including closets in that as to where I'm going to put all my shoes? And
Absolutely. I've got, contractors of everything under the sun. I work with a closet company. Yeah. And, just so, like I said, the functionality is huge, in living in the space. So just like what you do, and you sell a house, it's important for them to understand, I can still keep my sofa, and where am I going to put it, and space plan it, and then enhance and add things that are going to complement the new house. Yeah.
To make it work. And I know you recently did a remodel in Laguna Beach where I live, and back to space issue now, unless they're brand new builds, most of the houses in Laguna are pretty small.
Right.
So that's where your space creativity comes in.
Absolutely. And that one actually was a tear down that had been sitting there for a couple of years, so it's exciting to see it come together and finally come to fruition. So
that's cool. And so when you're working with builders and developers, at what point do you come in? Now you've built those relationships with them, and I say, okay, I'm going to build this house, and I need some design advice. How does that process work for you and the developers and builders?
Good question. Most of the time, I'm the one that brings those contractors into the job. And really that's what you want, because again, there's relationships that I've developed, and I know their work ethic and the quality of what they deliver. So,
Which is important. They're going to show up and finish the job.
Yes, and they know if they don't,
keep to a specific schedule.
The next one, there's always one behind that, hopefully. So it's developing that relationship, because if you have conflict on a project or a construction site, it can, not only prolong things, but also develop
very
that.
tricky.
Yeah,
Get very tricky.
So it's important to have that relationship.
So what sort of horror stories do you have of coming in and saving something that might have gone wrong? So somebody tried to do it on their own and it didn't work out, and now they're tearing their hair out, or like Paul said, they're 6 weeks into something and nothing's happening.
Right.
So tell me a story of how you might have come in to save the day.
Well, I've had people come to me and say, we have this material and we want to, create this bathroom, and now we're kind of into it, and, we don't know what to do and what the next steps are. So coming in and just saying, we could still reuse this. Maybe we add this accent tile or maybe this detail to bring it all together. And then, like I said, suggest contractors and oversee it, which is huge. I think that's the biggest part, is just kind of holding everybody's hand and making sure that everybody's doing their part. So when you're in the process of doing a remodel or a project, you're there the whole step of the way, from beginning to end with your clients, and you're overseeing the contractors to make sure they're on schedule, and that your people, your clients are happy along the way. Yes.
This is what's important.
Yep.
Now, the email that came across my desk this morning from California Association of Realtors was pretty apropos, because it said 58% of homeowners will be remodeling their home in the next year. So that's big.
Yes.
And at that point, those people are, it says, where they're coming up with the money to do this and how they're going to do it. Are they going to use a home equity line, or 62% are going to tap into their savings to do a remodel. So that's pretty big, because as you know, in Orange County, the affordability rate is high. So they're going to stay in their houses longer and improve them versus selling and not being able to really replace that property here within Orange County unless they move out of state. So are you finding most of your projects are happening while people are still living in the house? So that's another challenge if we have cats and dogs and kids and people and we're remodeling bathrooms and kitchens.
Yeah, and I've had both, where people move out completely and they can afford to go and rent, and that's when things, you got to wrap things up really quickly, which is that's the value of having a designer on board to oversee and making sure that every single day I'm checking and making sure that they're on track. And also knowing that things are going to get done right the first time. There's no going back and forth to the paint store. There's no going back and forth to the tile showroom and hemming and hawing over materials. This is what it is, and it's the right thing, and it's beautiful and exactly what you want. So in the end, you get to enjoy this for years to come. So
absolutely,
so that's the value.
Dream.
That's the value. So in the front end, it may look a little scary, but as we go along, it's your time. Devote the time to your family, to your job, to your responsibilities, and let me handle all of everything else on the back end, because I do this every day.
Right.
So,
do the experts have the experts
right.
do it. We don't ask, I don't try to replace a kidney or do heart surgery,
thank
right?
you.
So we have to call on the experts.
Well, and just like, with contractors, I'm not a general contractor, so I make their job easier by picking everything in time within a time frame and getting that going, so that all they have to do is show up on the job, reach over, pull a tile, and they just build it. So
and you
everybody,
trust them. You have your team set so that they're dependable, they're honest, they're not going to be, breaking or
and they're not trying to be a designer.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just like I'm not trying to be a general contractor.
Yeah,
so.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what's your most fun project that you've ever done?
My most fun is probably a whole house. Client, and they did move out, and she knew what she wanted. She had done her research. She knew the difference between a designer and someone who was experienced in handling a whole construction project. So that made things a lot more smooth. And then I picked all the materials. I presented it to her. She's like, "I love it. Let's move forward." And then it was just like one thing, just it helped things go a lot more smoothly. And I was able to give her that much more because of it. So
Absolutely.
yeah, and she loves it. You know, she comes home every day, and this is the fun part for me is she tells me, hey, look, you know, I walk in and I'm home, and that just makes,
and you're thrilled. Now,
that
in
makes my
something
day.
like this, are you also planning the furniture out and everything that's going into the rooms when you're doing a whole house like that?
Yes.
And do your services, if I don't want to remodel my house, but I want you to come in and just redecorate
Yep.
it, do you do that as well?
Absolutely.
You can come in and just get rid of that. I watched when Harry met Sally late the other night. I couldn't sleep, and I was giggling over the wagon wheel table. And I thought, you know, do you come in and get rid of the wagon wheel table and put something chic in there?
Right.
That's
Well,
something
it's a gentle conversation, just like the recliner.
Awesome. So, can you tell our listeners how they can reach out to you and find you?
Absolutely. So my website is audrainteriors.com. My number to reach me is 714-904-7431. And we'd love to help and hear from you.
Well, I'm grateful that you're here today, and my name's Rosanne Nitti. I'm with the Nitti Group. You can reach me at 949-315-9104, and my website is nittigroup.com. And thanks for tuning in today. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.